Hi, this is Neil Jones. We are here at Slam Dunk and we are with Heart Attack Man. And Eric, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to tell you about my introduction to the band because they say that the algorithm works and it finds you. I was listening to a Spotify playlist.
Oh, there we go.
And I was going, that's rubbish. That's rubbish.
Yeah.
What's that one?
Whoa.
And it was Heart Attack Man.
Hey there.
And I fell in love with the band.
Yeah.
So the algorithm works, right?
Yeah, it worked, like 1 in 10, right? So
But-
I appreciate that.
But I actually genuinely, other than it stopping me in my tracks, and it did, I actually don't know that much about the band. So tell me a little bit
What
about it.
What song was it?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
It had a purple
Okay.
cover.
Yeah, it's the new album.
Okay, it was one off the new album.
Okay. Well,
Just to prove I knew what I was talking
that's
about.
good. That's good to hear.
And I played it on the show as well.
Sweet, thank you.
The following week. But tell me a bit about the band. I can hear an American accent. Where you're from?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Aha.
Yeah.
The home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I thought you were going to say something much worse. You'd be like, oh, isn't Jeffrey Dahmer from the area? I'm like, yeah.
He is.
He is. That's Akron though. That's different.
How long have the band been together?
Oh man, we've been a band since 2013.
Uh-huh.
But really we didn't start like touring, I guess, professionally, like semi-professionally. I don't know, like as professionally as you could when you're sleeping in the van. But we didn't start doing that till 2017, and that is when we released like our first album. So it's kind of like a twofold answer because it's like we started in 2013, but the first 4 years of the band, we really were just focusing on like playing locally, establishing ourselves in Cleveland. I was also in school at the time, so I was finishing up school. And then 2017, we really, kind of hit the road and just trying to stay as busy as possible.
That was the game changer year, was it 2017?
I would say 2019.
Yeah.
Because, 2017, we really kind of laid the foundation in the States. But then I feel like 2019 is where I felt like people in the States started taking a little more notice. And then, of course, immediately after that, 2020, we're like, oh, this is going to be a great year.
What happened then?
It's going to be fantastic. We had a lot, going on, a lot on the books. And then, that all changed. But, we're back. And
that must have been like all that momentum building up, and it halts you in your tracks.
It did, and it was.
But it halted everyone.
It did. It halted everyone, and it sucks. But like it's like sink or swim. Either you keep going, and you persevere. You find ways to stay busy and stay like motivated. And I don't know. I just worked a lot, and I got really into running. So I was like working 50, 60 hours a week and just running a lot. So just kind of kept my mind off of everything.
60 hours a week would be a Heart Attack Man territory, wouldn't it? Literally.
Yeah.
I'm always interested when you said that those first 4 years was just playing locally. People go to school like you were.
Yeah.
They put a band together. They want to play in a band. At that stage, not everybody is thinking, this is going to be what I'm going to do for my career.
Yeah.
Was there a moment when did you always think that, or was there a moment where you thought?
No, definitely not.
No?
So the thing is, myself, Adam, and Ty, we've all been in bands for a long time, and I'm 32 now, and I've been playing in bands. Like the first time I ever played live, I was 13. It's probably about the same for Adam and Ty. And we've known each other for quite some time before Heart Attack Man, just from the Cleveland scene and everything. And growing up, I don't know, we like never really thought about anything like, oh, we could do this and this could like be anything. It's like it was always just kind of like for fun, and it's still fun. Like that's the thing. It's like we've always said if it stops being fun, we will stop, because there's no point to doing this if it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's like there's far more respectable and glamorous ways to make a living. So that's kind of beside the point for us. Yeah, much more lucrative, and you suffer a lot less. So like I don't, for us though, it's like we've known each other for so long, and early on, we just like the first time we went to California, because that's on the other side of the country for us. Even that was crazy for us. We never expected to do that. Truthfully, the band originally started as like a solo studio project of mine, where I was in a band before, but not really like creatively getting to contribute all that much. So I was like, needed an outlet to, get it out some other way. And so I started it just really as like a personal studio solo project where I was just recording everything. and didn't plan on playing shows originally, and then released like a demo, and people locally really started taking a liking to it. And then pretty quickly I was like, oh, maybe I should think about like putting a band together and all that. So I mean, all that to say, like, everything that's happened since has been like a very pleasant surprise.
Hearing you talk about that initial project, though, it sounds to me like there are some people who just want to play music for fun. It sounds to me like you needed to play music.
Yeah, it was
quite cathartic.
Oh yeah, I mean that's it. It always is for us. I mean, it's at this point, you know, I've been doing it for well over half my life, and
Wow.
It's like I don't want to know what my life looks like without making music, and not like having something to look forward
Having
to
the outlet
creatively.
as well. Yeah.
Was that?
Having the outlet.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like it's essential for me. I feel like if I didn't have that, I would like be in jail.
Yeah. Dead, jail, or rock and roll.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Cleveland. Whenever I think of Cleveland, you know, I've never been to. I've been to the States many times. Never been to Cleveland.
Oh well, you're missing out.
But I hear whenever I think of Cleveland, I think of two things: the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and Spinal Tap. Because
Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap, because they say hello Cleveland.
Hello, Cleveland. Yeah, that's right.
But there's a lot more to Cleveland, guys.
There's so much more to Cleveland.
What bands came from Cleveland,
Well, Heart Attack Man came from Cleveland.
apart from you?
9 Inch Nails.
I've never heard of them. Are they big? I'm joking.
They're you know, they're probably my favorite local band.
Okay.
You know, little small local band. I let me be the first to say that you should check out 9 Inch Nails. I think they're onto something.
You think?
Yeah. I think they got what it
I
takes.
reckon he could maybe win an Oscar or something.
Maybe. That's crazy.
I know. We love Trent, though.
Yeah.
We
Oh
love
no.
Trent.
I'm seeing 9 Inch Nails in November, and it's like this year is super busy for us, and there's like so much going on that I'm like, oh cool, that's going on, but we're gonna be on tour, and it's like I'm missing so much, which sucks. But it's I'm not complaining. It's bittersweet because I'm like, that sucks, but I'm also like doing my thing, and we're like we're living the dream, you know.
It's what they call a first world problem.
It very much so. So like missing a lot of cool shows and cool tours that are coming through. However, 9 Inch Nails are playing Cleveland in November, and I got tickets for it, and I'm super. I've never seen them before.
You've never seen them before?
Never.
Your favorite local band?
My favorite small time local band. I haven't caught them yet.
They've got to be the biggest band to come out of Cleveland, right? I mean, Boating for Soup sing about Ohio.
The what?
Boating for Soup have a song about Ohio.
They have a song about Ohio, but they're from Texas.
They are from Texas.
Yeah. Let me think. I mean, Cleveland, Ohio. I mean, yeah, I'd say probably 9 Inch Nails is probably
The biggest.
I'm biased. I love them, but I would say they're the most like culturally significant to music as a whole.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
That's almost an understatement, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they're underrated, if anything.
So listen, if somebody is listening to this interview, watching this interview, has never heard of the band, where should they start with the band? You're going to say the new album, but you know, let's pick
I'm
a
going to
song.
say the new album.
But where in particular? Should they...
I would say Lay Down and Die.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite song on the album has kind of it's hopped around a little bit, you know, between certain tracks, but I mean that one has like pretty consistently been my favorite, and is like it's the one that like all of our songs mean something to me, and it's all like very personal, but like that one is like I still get goosebumps, you know, and like playing it like when we were playing it today, like, you know, I just had that feeling. I'm like, man, I could cry right now.
That's when you know music is real, right?
Yeah.
And listen, we talked about, you know, the story so far. Let's look to the future very quickly before we wrap up. How far are your plans mapped? You know, what's coming down the track?
The rest of this year, pretty booked solid for us. We got, after this, we're going home. We're in Cleveland for like less than a week, and then we leave on like a marathon tour of the U.S. It's like 10 weeks. We have like a week off in the middle of it, but it's essentially just like 2 full U.S. tours in one, I guess. But we really wanted to like get off the beaten path and kind of play a lot of places that we haven't played before.
Yeah.
So just really, I don't know, it's like we're excited because it's an adventure. You know, it's like it's the tour routing of it is really kind of like unlike anything we've done. So we're like, this is the real test. We were joking about it. We're like, this is the kind of tour where bands break up after, you know. But we're doing that, and then in order to hold ourselves to not break up after the tour, we have an Eastern Canadian tour that we're doing in September, and then October, November, December are accounted for but not announced yet. But
Okay.
we will be getting into that shortly.
Keep an eye on the social shows.
We'll be back in the UK. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Tour bus, van, what are we talking?
Oh, van, baby. Van life.
Get in the van.
Get in the
Are
van.
you ready for van life for that length of time?
Hell yeah.
Well, you got to like you. I always say, like, you know, to be in a band, yes, you can be musically compatible.
Yeah.
But if you've got to live in a very small space,
Oh,
these
dude,
days-
yeah. That's the thing is like you can be musically compatible. But I think personally the personality side of it in a live touring setting is more important.
Yeah.
Like you could if you have like passable chemistry, but like everyone's a good hang, then like I feel like the chemistry emanates. Like the musical chemistry emanates from everyone's ability to tolerate each other and hang out and like be friends. You know what I mean? So like, but like there are plenty of people that play music together that aren't friends, and plenty of people where it's just like a job. You know, they're like, okay, time to clock in, and people love it and it sounds fine and it works. So,
but it's a job.
It is, but I'd say in our particular scenario, I would say that like the chemistry and it's like Adam and Ty are my best friends. You know what I mean? And it's like it's very brotherly in a lot of ways where like sometimes we get on each other's nerves that's going to happen when you're in a van together for weeks, but you all
know that's going to happen, right? I mean,
yeah,
you
know that's
going to
happen.
You would not be human if it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly, and we can talk about it because we're adults, you know, and it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't rather be doing it with anyone else.
And also, it beats a real job, right?
What's that?
It beats a real job.
Yeah, I mean, there are times where I miss my old job.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I used to wash windows and power wash houses, and man, it was satisfying.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, I miss it.
You just power wash the van.
I can power wash the van, yeah.
Best of both worlds.
I could bring a power washer on tour, and like...
Not enough room in a van.
Yeah, we'll get a trailer, and I'll bring my my power washer, and I'll go on side missions during the day. Yeah, I'll do that shit for free.
Well, listen, you guys have got a great brother adventure ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
We wish you the very best. Don't forget to go and see Nine Inch Nails in November
Yeah.
as well.
Oh my God, dude, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna freak out. I'm going to cry, and I'm gonna laugh, cry, and probably pee my pants. And I'm just gonna experience every human emotion, and it's gonna be amazing.
And it's a downward spiral from there.
My favorite local band.
It's a downward spiral from there.
Yeah. My life will be a downward spiral from there.
Thanks for chatting to us, Eric.
Of course. Thanks for having me.